Welcome to Cal State Fullerton's The Report with the latest news, views, and info to go. I'm Christina Rasband.
I'm Sarah Fenton.
And I'm Jen Moynihan.
Today we will start by discussing some hot topics, including a tragic car accident in Orange County, mental health protection for NFL players, strategies to stop the spread of Ebola, a famous rapper's controversial concert, and more.
Beyond our discussion, we have reports on current CSUF events, including today's Multicultural Food Festival, an exhibit on pollution, a recap of the latest fall play, and what's coming up next for theater.
And finally, we conclude with the top local and national news on a forgotten international holiday, the latest in California legislation, one Secret Service director's resignation, protests in Hong Kong, and so much more.
But first, we'll begin our segment called Hot Topics, where we'll discuss the hot trending topics of the week. Five teenagers were killed and one severely injured in a car accident early Saturday morning in Orange County. The vehicle was traveling southbound on the I-5 when it suddenly veered off the freeway and crashed into the embankment. The 1995 BMW sedan and surrounding brush were engulfed in flames, and that took firefighters around 30 minutes to extinguish. California Highway Patrol said in a press conference Monday that the teens had been driving home at approximately 2:15 a.m. from Knott's Scary Farm in Buena Park at the time of the accident. The 16-year-old driver, Bradley Morales, was not in possession of a driver's license or had any record of a learner's permit. Also, none of the teens were wearing seatbelts. Officials have not confirmed whether or not they suspect drugs or alcohol were involved. Morales is currently recovering from surgery to repair a fractured skull and other injuries, and memorials are being held at the local middle and high schools this week for the 5 deceased passengers. The incident has raised questions regarding teen driving safety. According to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, 60% of teens that died from car accidents in 2012 were between the ages of 16 and 19 years old, and 54% were killed while another teen was driving. Should stricter regulations be placed on teen drivers under the age of 18?
I mean, it's such a tragic event, what happened. It's sad to see that they died, but at the same time, the fact that he didn't have a license, it kind of speaks for itself. In California, we do have regulations that say that if you're under the age of 18, you have to have a parent or guardian with you, or someone who is over the age of 20 driving with you. If you have a learner's permit, the same regulations apply. It's just unfortunate that he didn't, and the others in the car did not follow those rules.
Yeah, and when the first year that you have your license, you can't drive anyone under, 25? Or
Yeah, it's
with you. So, but I remember when I was in high school, everyone was doing that. I mean, everyone was driving teenagers around.
Yeah,
so maybe
that's
they
true.
need to make it stricter to make the consequences a little more strict, because obviously the teens are still doing it. And who gave this kid the car to go drive around? Come on.
Well, it said it was, they came out in reports saying that it was licensed to one of his family members, but they don't know exactly what the connection is between them. But it's someone with the same last name.
Yeah.
Right, there's obviously facts that are missing that we don't know yet, but that's so unfortunate that those 5 died because of a mistake on his part,
Former Kansas City Chiefs linebacker Jovan Belcher was found to have head trauma that led to his death. Belcher shot and killed his girlfriend and himself in December 2012. Their daughter Zoe was 2 months old at the time. It was confirmed Monday that his brain showed signs of chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE. CTE has also been linked to the deaths of other former NFL players, including Junior Seau, Dave Dwerson, and Ray Easterling. Attorney Dirk Vandiver, representing Belcher's daughter, says this case merges CTE and domestic violence. Do you think the NFL should provide mental health care specifically for CTE?
I definitely think that they should. If you're in the military or, part of any big organization, they provide health and all those kind of things for you and your family. So I think something like that is really important, especially when what they're doing is causing this,
Yeah.
I support it. I don't know. You were talking about it a little earlier.
Yeah, it's trauma to the brain. It's a degenerate disease. It causes aggression. It causes depression. It happens mostly when you have a concussion or you're in constant contact with your head getting hurt. But I think, yeah, you're right. They should do something about it because obviously a lot of NFL players have suffered from this. And, if they're going to be participating in contact sports like that, they should have some protection.
Yeah, these guys are hitting each other hard all the time. I mean, if this is the leading disease that's going on in this industry, of course they should do something about it. It's horrible. I mean, it's so sad to see this happen. They're playing the sport that they love, and then to have this come out as a result of it, it's sad.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for the daughter too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sad. So President Obama said Monday that the U.S. will increase screenings of passengers flying to the country to step up detection of individuals infected with the Ebola virus. During the press conference, the president stressed the seriousness of the issue, saying, quote, "The ability of people who are affected who could carry that across borders is something that we have to take extremely seriously." However, the president has not yet elaborated on specifics regarding the heightened screenings or what they may entail. In an interview with the Washington Post, an unidentified federal official close to the administration said screening options being considered by the White House include tracking the travel histories of the international travelers and taking the temperatures of passengers arriving in major U.S. airports. A potential ban on air traffic from the three countries most heavily affected by the virus have also been proposed by some. The White House, however, says it has no plans to impose such a ban. Do you think the U.S. should ban flights from countries affected with Ebola?
I think that's taking it one step too far. I mean, when you ban flights from another country, I don't think we can do that. But to maybe make sure that the passengers on the flight don't have Ebola or the symptoms of it, that is definitely what we should be doing.
I don't know how you guys feel about flying these days, but ever since September 11th, I mean, flying is totally different than how it used to be. We used to be able to walk up and see, mom and dad flying and wave to them, and now you have to go through this whole process of removing your shoes and putting this in one bag and putting this in another bag. I mean, I honestly think they're probably going to take it one more step, and who knows what that will be, but, they're just taking safety precautions. It's going to drive the rest of us traveling crazy, but they have to ensure our safety.
Yeah.
So
Definitely those wait times during the holidays are going to go up.
no, thank you.
But in all seriousness, I think you're right. They do need to step up the screenings. They need to do something other than just a questionnaire or taking the temperature of somebody getting on the plane. In an article in The Guardian, the researcher who found the disease in 1976 says that there's a potential for the virus to mutate because it's coming from all these different countries. So we have to worry about that now, and the possibility of it lasting longer in patients who have the disease and letting it travel to other individuals. So they need to do something quickly.
Yeah, and especially with flights, these airplanes are like incubators. So you're in there, people are touching everything, the trays that come down, and you get it by contact with other people. So if you're on a flight, definitely wipe it down and sanitize everything. But we do need to take, I think, an extra step to make sure that no one on the flight does have it.
And they're in such a closed space too. Like you have maybe an inch next to the person.
Or they're wearing spandex gloves and
exactly. Or
spandex pants,
Or you
Who
get
knows?
the person that's laying on you next to you, so there's contact right there.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Laying on you?
Oh yeah, these flights, the chairs are very close. So when you get someone who falls asleep, they fall over
Sarah
on you.
has experience with that, apparently.
Not fun.
No.
No.
In less than a week, Americans will observe the annual Columbus Day holiday on October 13th. Well, almost everyone. In a unanimous vote on Monday, Seattle City Council decided to rename the holiday Indigenous Peoples Day in recognition of Native Americans who inhabited the land before Columbus arrived in the 15th century. Seattle is now the second major city in the U.S. after Minneapolis to redesignate the day, which will go into effect before the October 13th holiday this year. In an interview with Time magazine, Quinault Nation President Fawn Sharp said, quote, "This action will allow us to begin into future and present a day honoring our rich history. However, members of Seattle's Italian-American community are opposed to the change because they view the day as a celebration of their cultural heritage. The Seattle School Board plans to recognize both versions of the holiday in public schools. What are your thoughts about Seattle's vote, and do you think other cities in the U.S. should redesignate the holiday?
Well, I mean, it's not a secret that schools don't really favor Columbus when we talk about history. I think the most prominent thing we discuss now in high school and elementary schools is how Columbus came over and brought smallpox. Columbus came over and enslaved indigenous people. I think that might be something that would have contributed to this, but I don't think that it necessarily, I mean, if you look throughout history, there were definitely other, situations that, like the Spanish conquistadors came over and did the exact same thing. So I don't know. Do you think it's
I think the school board, what they're doing by celebrating both holidays is good, because then you get the best, both groups are happy. You get the best of both worlds. But like you're saying earlier.
Oh, yeah. So I was saying to Sarah, I mean, every year we have to buy new textbooks, right?
Oh.
So this is going to cost more for students because they're going to have to get an updated edition because history is totally changing again. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand why now? Why are they making the changes now? I mean, this has been, since the 15th century? And we're like 21st century? Oh, let's change it. Personally, I don't understand, but.
I don't know. That's a big question. Why now? But as long as we're celebrating both, I think everyone can be happy.
I do think it's interesting that the school board has decided to keep both in the textbooks, and they celebrate both holidays.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Trying to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
The author of the popular Harry Potter series, J.K. Rowling, has been causing a stir on social media this week. As an active participant on Twitter, Rowling is known for posting updates on her latest projects, as well as cryptic clues as to what those projects may be. On Sunday, the author shared her latest activity in a tweet stating, "Very busy at the moment working on a novel, tweaking a screenplay, and being involved in Loomis campaigns. Back when I finish something." The screenplay Rowling is referring to is most likely The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Harry Potter spin-off announced last year. Excited fans, however, immediately took to social media to express their ideas about the mysterious unnamed novel. This sparked a response from Rowling shortly after, who left fans with a head-scratching riddle stating, "Crypho, run amok, fa Ari, my wand won't tolerate this nonsense." This tweet is the latest in a series of rumors regarding another Potter book, which have been swirling since July when Rowling posted a short story on her website, Pottermore, about the adventures of Harry, Ron, and Hermione since their days at Hogwarts. What do you think about these rumors, and do you think Rowling has another Potter book in the works?
Well, if I could understand what you just said, I would totally comment. But I mean, maybe there's a new Harry Potter book. That's cool. I watched the movies, so I'll be waiting for the movie. Yep.
No, that would be amazing if she did come out with another one. I don't think that she probably will.
Yeah.
I think the quote that you had was an anagram, so it was a bunch of letters mixed around, and you had to kind of put them in the right place to solve the riddle.
Oh.
So she's really sneaky that way.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Very
Did you
clever.
figure it out?
I did not. I read earlier, though, that it was a line from the script for the new movie that's coming out.
So did you watch all the movies and read all of her books, all the Harry Potter books?
I am a diehard Harry Potter fan.
Oh, yeah. Okay. See, I read the first one, kind of. I saw it when it first came out when I was younger, and I thought, wow, that's really big. And then I watched a movie with it because everyone was. And then I watched the last movie, so I kind of had a gap in between all of those.
Yeah.
But they're interesting.
I like the midnight showings, so
Yeah.
let's get past the book and go straight to the movies.
Oh, yeah, I could do the movie.
Yeah.
The movie was interesting.
Yeah.
It's a good way to look at it, guys. Kanye West caused a stir at his concert in Sydney, Australia, when the singer refused to continue his show until the entire audience was standing. West reportedly told the audience, quote, "I can't do the rest of this song until everybody stands up, unless you got a handicap pass and you get special parking." The singer then called attention to two audience members still sitting who were both handicapped. According to CNN, one of the individuals waved his prosthetic leg at West, who then gave him the okay to remain seated. The singer had his bodyguard confirm that the other individual was, in fact, in a wheelchair before he continued the show. Did Kanye West go too far when he called out those handicapped audience members?
Totally. Come on. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't understand that mentality. But I do have to say, like, a week after this happened, he did a concert in Chicago, and there was a guy in a wheelchair, and he decided to crowd surf.
Oh.
So,
right.
I mean, I don't know if, like, people are reading that story and going, hey, well, I'm in a wheelchair, I can totally be really cool, and, you know, I don't know. But, yeah, I don't think going to the point of having your audience members wave their prosthetic leg to prove that they can't stand up is a good thing.
No, he has thousands of people there at the show to point out two people that are sitting down. That's horrible. I mean, there's probably people way in the back that were sitting down too. And so the fact that he pointed out two people and those two people right there,
Right.
and in the video, he had the audience booing them, and they're chanting for them to get up. That's horrible, especially if you're them. I mean, that would make me feel bad if I was in their shoes. I would never go to one of his concerts again if I were them.
I mean, the fact that they had to go to such lengths, like one of them had to wave their prosthetic leg.
Exactly.
And the bodyguard had to check on the other one. I mean, at any other concert, I feel like the performer would have been like, okay, you know, they're sitting, there must be a reason why they're sitting, let's move past this. But, you know, Kanye is Kanye. He always does some crazy things. Yeah.
Yep. Nope.
Just bad all around.
Bad around.
Yeah.
Yep. Cal State Fullerton's Association for Intercultural Awareness is hosting a multicultural food festival today, October 8th. Come and experience various cultures, eat free food, and watch a live performance. Guitarist, singer, and songwriter Joseph Vincent will perform from noon to 1 p.m. and will host a meet and greet after the event. The festivities run from 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Becker Amphitheater. We'll see you there, Titans.
Come on over to the Titan Student Union this month and check out a new exhibit called Junk and Gyre, Plastic Pollution in Our World and Inside You. The exhibit focuses on the effects of plastic pollution on a global scale, featuring art pieces made from plastic found in ocean gyres, or whirlpools where waste accumulates. Also, the head of the Five Gyres Institute, Dr. Marcus Erickson, will be presenting his strategy to eliminate plastic pollution. Junk and Gyre will run until October 17th in the TSU and Plaza galleries.
Is he dead? That is the question being asked throughout Cal State Fullerton's latest fall play. The comedy, written by Mark Twain and adapted by David Ives, focuses on the story of a struggling artist who can't seem to find anyone who'll purchase his work. The artist becomes convinced that his work may be worth more with him dead than alive, so he hatches a scheme to convince the world just that. He has the potential to become rich, famous, and even marry the girl of his dreams. Too bad he has to be a corpse to do it. Is He Dead premieres October 10th at 8 p.m. and will run until October 26th at the Young Theater.
Hearts Like Fists open on September 26th over the Hallberg Theater location in Clay's Performing Arts Center. The lively character performances and center stage arrangements provided the audience a panoramic view of the crazy yet romantic comedy book hero story that unfolded. The stage setup also gave actors a chance to interact directly with the audience and showcase their characters' cartoony comic book vibes. Hearts Like Fists explored the exciting yet terrifying circumstances associated with falling in love while still maintaining a comedic atmosphere. The performances setting in cityscape also contributed to the unforgettable and eerie ambience that the villain Dr. X made his entrance. Titans, if you haven't had a chance to see it yet, Hearts Like Fists runs until October 19th at the Hallberg Theater.
And now we'll switch over to some updates in local news. Community colleges may be offering bachelor's degrees. Yes, that's right. The new California Senate Bill 850 proposes a plan to allow 15 community colleges to offer bachelor's degrees in fields that are not already offered at public universities. This includes radiological technology, health information management, and veterinary technology. The potential 4-year degree program is estimated to cost prospective students a total of $10,000. If passed, the bill will begin adding degree programs at community colleges in fall 2015 and will last through 2023.
Fullerton-based business and record label Burger Records celebrated a long-forgotten music device on September 27th, the cassette tape. The trend was part of a movement known as International Cassette Store Day, which is celebrating its 2nd anniversary this year. The event is meant to reinvigorate popularity for local independent record stores through special one-day-only tape releases and in-store performances. This year, Burger Records owner Sean Broman organized the event for all of North America, connecting record labels and stores from the U.S. to Canada.
Plastic bags in California will soon be no more. On September 30th, Governor Brown signed a law that will eliminate the use of plastic bags in California supermarkets, pharmacies, and liquor and convenience stores. Beginning on July 1st of this year, grocery stores and pharmacies will no longer offer plastic bags. Instead, stores will set reusable and paper bags for a fee of 10 cents per bag. The mandate states that the convenience and liquor stores must participate in the ban by July 2016. California is now the first to execute a statewide ban on plastic bags.
Disneyland reopened its Finding Nemo submarine voyage ride last week after nearly 8 months of maintenance. The 55-year-old theme park attraction underwent minor upgrades, according to Disney ride operators, including new technological features and a paint job. The upgrades are expected to give the ride a more vibrant and fresh look. The new paint, which is made from crushed glass, is also less susceptible to sun deterioration. The submarine voyage, which debuted in 1959 alongside the popular Matterhorn bobsleds and the monorail, has retained all 8 of its original submarines, which have been refurbished and integrated with electrical engines since the ride's opening.
And now we'll take a look at some of the latest news here in the U.S. and abroad. Secret Service Director Julie Pearson resigned last week after interrogations by the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform regarding the security breach at the White House in September. Original reports from White House officials said the 42-year-old intruder, Omar Gonzalez, was apprehended as soon as he entered the building. According to another federal officer present during the incident, Gonzalez climbed the fence, armed with a pocket knife, intercepted a guard attempting to lock the front door, and ran deep into the executive mansion until he was tackled at the entrance to the green room. Pearson told lawmakers that automatic locks have been installed since the incident and that she would make sure that it doesn't happen again.
The Center for Disease Control and Prevention has confirmed the first case of Ebola in the U.S. An unidentified man flying from Liberia to Dallas was diagnosed with Ebola on September 19th. The man was visiting a family in Dallas, Texas. Officials say they have identified a handful of people that were in contact with the man since his return. Those individuals will remain under surveillance in case symptoms emerge. The CDC said the chance of contamination on the plane was 0% because the man had not developed symptoms at that time. There has been only one other confirmed case of Ebola in the U.S., the American doctor who contracted the disease in Africa while helping treat sick patients. He was transported to Atlanta for treatment and since has recovered.
Hong Kong citizens flooded city streets on October 1st anniversary of China's Communist Republic to continue week-long protests for democratic reform. Despite rounds of tear gas fired by police, protesters gathered in response to a new measure proposed by Chinese authorities that would limit the number of candidates Hong Kong citizens could elect in 2017. This means Hong Kong's next leader would only come from a pool of candidates selected by Chinese authorities. As a special administrative region, Hong Kong does have more freedom than China. The system, described as one government, two systems, allows Hong Kong to maintain its own police force, judicial courts, and law separate from the Chinese government. According to the Washington Post, the latest move by China has made Hong Kong citizens increasingly fearful of attacks on the region's freedoms.
The world's first bullet train celebrated its 50th anniversary last week. A reenactment of the Japanese train's 1964 opening ceremony was held at Tokyo Station on October 1st. The Japanese bullet train, or as citizens call it, the Shishangshin, often travels from Tokyo to Osaka in 4 hours during the first voyage in 1964, beating the regular distance travel time by 2 hours. In comparison, the latest model can make the same trip in just under 2 hours and 30 minutes at speeds of 130 miles per hour. The Shishangshin is most well known for renewing interest in train travel and is a symbol of pride for the Japanese.
Well, that's all we have on this edition of The Report. Join us next time for more up-to-date news, views, and info to go. Thank you. I'm Christina Razvan.
I'm Sarah Fenton.
And I'm Jen Moynihan. Stay fresh, Fullerton.